Good morning and happy Easter. So you've done the warm-up now, so we used a ring warm-up, but you can put any warm-up into before this program. And now I'm going to get Chris to start doing some exercises using the ring quite a lot, but if you haven't got a ring, don't worry, it just adds a little bit of variety into the exercises. Okay, so you're going to lie onto your back, and if you need to use a block behind your head, you have a block behind the head. So we're going to start with the ab prep exercise, and for this one we're going to get the ring and pop it between the knees. So onto the padded area, so you're not resting on any joints, you've got the padded part of your thighs and the ring is between the knees. Your spine is neutral, so you have that little gap behind your lumbar spine, and your feet are flat onto the mat. Your arms are down by your side and your eye gaze is straight up towards the ceiling. As you breathe in, you're going to nod the head, so you drop your chin down. As you breathe out, you're going to sit yourself up, that mini little sit-up, lifting those arms by your side. You can actually squeeze the ring a little bit there as well. One point, do make sure your spine's neutral, so you've still got that little gap behind your lumbar spine. You take a breath in, and as you exhale, you come back down, controlling yourself back down. So spine stays neutral the whole time. Inhale to head nod. Exhale as you slide your ribcage towards your pelvis, putting a little bit of pressure on that ring so your knees are squeezing together, taking a breath in and exhale as you control it down. So you're going to keep that pattern going. We're going to go for 5 of these and then we're going to show you a different variation, okay? So inhale to stay, exhale down. So you head nod first, then you flex forward, you keep that gap behind the lumbar spine, you inhale to stay, flattening the abdominals, and exhale, control it down. We're just going to do one more and then we're going to show you another variation. Good, keep that gap so it's just sliding the ribcage towards the pelvis and down. Okay, another variation, you can take that ring from between the knees and you hold it above your head. So bring your feet and your knees in so they're hip distance apart now. That's a bit better. So you still keep that spine in a nice neutral position. Don't, even though the arms have gone over the head, don't let the rib cage flare open. So make sure you've got that rib cage connection. As you breathe in, you're going to start bringing that ring forward. So the arms stay straight. You inhale and then exhale. You can put a little squeeze into that ring there. Still stay neutral. I'm going to come into shot here. So we want the gap behind the lumbar, so come a little lower. Lovely. Inhale to stay and exhale. Control it back down again. Again, keeping that pattern going. Inhale as you ring the ring and drop the chin. Squeeze that ring. Don't come up too high. Feel that gap behind the lumbar spine. Inhale to stay and exhale. Control it back down again. Squeezing that ring on the exhale. So we'll do 3 more like that. Inhale as the ring comes forward. Exhale as you reach and squeeze, but feel that gap behind the lumbar spine. Inhale, pull the belly button to spine, and exhale, control it down again. We're going to do 2 more. So you bring the ring up and forward. Exhale as you reach, a little pressure on the ring. You can obviously do this without the ring, but it's just a nice little variation. And down, and then 1 more. Inhale to stay, flattening the abdominals, and exhale, control it back down again. Going to pop in 1 more little variation, so this takes it up into a more intermediate level. So you're going to pop the ring between the ankles this time, so just showing you another little variation. Again, you're not resting it on the bones at all, so your legs are going to be in tabletop. You've imprinted your lumbar spine at this point and your knees are over your hips. What we're going to do is take those arms back over the head and keep that, make sure the spine isn't arching. This is very much more an intermediate level exercise. So as you inhale, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you flex forward and you take those legs out onto the diagonal. Lovely, you can squeeze that ring. Inhale to stay, exhale coming back to that start position. So legs come back into tabletop and arms go overhead. Inhale as you start to bring those arms forward and flex. Exhale, you reach, taking those legs out onto the diagonal and squeezing the ring. Inhale to hold that position, and exhale, control it back down, sweeping those arms. We'll just do 3 more. Inhale, start to bring the arms forward. Exhale, dropping the chin, flexing forward, reaching those legs out onto the diagonal. Inhale to stay. Exhale, returning back down. 2 more. Inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, drop your chin, flex forward, squeeze that ring. Inhale to stay. Exhale down. Good, and 1 more. You're doing really well there, Chris. Inhale, exhale, flex and reach those legs. A little squeeze on those rings. Inhale to stay. And exhale down. Lovely, then you're going to bring those feet down onto the mat and take that ring. Lovely. So we're going to go into the 100 now. A variation with this you can use. So we're going to pop the ring behind the hamstrings here. So as you take your legs up into tabletop, you imprint your lumbar spine. That's it. So legs come up into tabletop. And you take hold of the ring and you have your hands, there we go. So inhale to head nod, exhale as you flex up and forward. So you're going to inhale and pulse for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, and exhale for 5, 2, 1. Keeping that pattern going. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. So knees stay over the hips, it's looking good. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, pulling the belly button to spine. And exhale for 5, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 60. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 70. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 80. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 90. Last 10. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. Now inhale to stay, exhale, let the head and shoulders come down and bring your feet down one at a time. Really challenging, well done. I like to use the ring, so something else you can use it for is to help with a hamstring stretch here. So let's do that now. So have one foot lifted up inside the ring, so pop the pad onto the foot and lengthen that leg up towards the ceiling. And let the other legs lengthen along the mat. And use it to help give you a nice hamstring stretch. So you can let your head and shoulders come down and you can use that ring to help with the stretch. And you can also rotate it so that the knee comes in towards the midline of the body, in towards the midline, so that you're bringing your big toe towards the opposite shoulder. So rotate there. Feel that stretch change. And just hold that stretch. And we'll change over legs. Not Lola wants to get involved again. Lola, come on. Here. Good girl. Good girl. That's it. And then rotate that knee in towards the midline. Imagine bringing the big toe towards the opposite shoulder. Lovely, and then releasing that pressure. Let's go over onto your fronts. We're going to do some breaststroke prep variation exercises. We will keep hold of the ring for the first one. Moving the pad on. So I'm looking at breaststroke prep 2, a variation of breaststroke prep 2. You're going to take the ring and place it just on the back, just down the lower part of the back. There we go. So somewhere where you can reach it with your hands. If you need to take it down a little bit lower, I'd say that's brilliant. Okay. So you're going to have your chin tucked down, so your eye gaze will be down towards the mat. The arms are going to be down by your sides, okay? You're going to be holding onto that ring with both hands. Now your abdominals are pulled to belly button. You can obviously do this without the ring, but we'll use the ring. So inhale, you're going to start lifting that ring off, so you'll be ending up retracting your shoulder blades. As you exhale, you're going to lift the whole body. There. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, and exhale, control it all back down again, let no shoulders relaxed. So breathe in as you start to lift the ring. Breathe out as you lift off of the mat, lifting the chest, going into extension, lifting those legs and taking those toes away from you. Take a breath in as you lengthen and exhale down. So keeping that pattern going, remembering don't push the tummy muscles into the mat, really try and still draw them in and lift up on the pelvic floor. This is really working those shoulder muscles, so your scapular muscles, to help you retracting those shoulder blades nicely there. And you're lengthening through the whole body, reaching the toes away from you as you lift, and then control it down again. We'll do one more. I'd do 6 to 8 of these to maintain, that's it, and then control it down. Lovely. Take that ring just to one side for a minute. We're going to also do breaststroke, a variation of breaststroke prep 3 here. So rest your hands underneath the forehead. Now we're going to add in some rotation. So you're going to lift, and then you're going to drop one elbow down towards the rib cage. So you exhale as you rotate down. You inhale, you come back to centre, and you exhale, you go in the opposite side. And you come back to centre, inhale, and then exhale, relax it all back down again. So let's just do it with one repetition. So come down, relax down. Inhale to lift, stabilising the shoulders. Exhale, drop the elbow down towards the hip. Inhale, come back to centre. Going in the opposite side, elbow down to hip, inhale to centre, now down, exhale down, good. And that's the whole rep, so lift as you inhale. Exhale as you take the elbow down to the side. Inhale back to centre, then go the other side. Try not to take the shoulders too far, everything's got to stay in line. And exhale down. You're going to keep that pattern going. Try and alternate the sides that you go first, that whichever direction you go, then next time go the opposite way, okay? So you're not starting off with the same side each time. We're going to vary those sides. So this time as Chrysalis, we're going to get you to go down to the left first. That's it, lovely. And then inhale, and then to the right. Back to centre and down, and we're going to balance it up, so we're going to get you to do the left side again. Imagine there are tennis balls underneath your shoulders, and you're just rolling those tennis balls so that everything stays nice and flat to the mat. Keep the hands onto the forehead. Just one more, going to the left first. Keep the hands under the forehead, even if it's a small movement. Working those side oblique muscles, keeping your belly button pulled back to spine. Inhale back to centre, exhale down. Now you sit back into a nice shell stretch, so you really do need to release the pressure after doing this one. Taking the arms down by your sides, use your abdominals to increase that flexion, so to release that pressure there. You've just been doing a lot of extension work and you want to release the pressure. On your next exhale, you're going to stack yourself back up one vertebrae at a time. Now we're going to do some half roll back. Again, we're going to show you a couple of variations using the ring. So sitting onto your bottom, feet are in front of you on the mat. Bottom is slightly tucked under, so you're not sitting high up on your sit bones, you're tucking them under slightly, lovely. Your arms are straight and your left finger resting onto the pads. As you inhale, you squeeze your glutes to start to roll back. So you roll back as you inhale. As you exhale, you use your abdominals to come forward. Exhale, squeezing that ring. Oh no, come here, good girl. Inhale as you start to roll back. Exhale as you come forward, squeezing the ring. Good. Inhale as you start to roll back. That's it. And then exhale as you use your abdominals and squeeze forward. We'll go for 2 more and then we're going to show you a couple of variations. Inhale back and then exhale forward. Lovely. And 1 more. Inhale back. And as you can see, Chris is putting pressure onto that ring as well as he exhales forward. So this time, as you inhale back, I want you to reach that ring up by your ears. This is more difficult. Don't do this if you find this too challenging. Exhale, bring it forward as you squeeze. Inhale, you sweep the ring up towards the ears, and then exhale, squeeze it down. So again, I go for about 5 of these. Inhale, sweeping it up, and exhale, scooping those abdominals forward. Let's show you the rotation. So this time, as you inhale, take the ring out to the side. So rotate the rib cage, taking the arms out to the side. So inhale out, and then exhale back to the front and squeeze, and then obviously go the opposite way. Inhale out, using your obliques here to add in some rotation. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, squeeze it back. Inhale out. Exhale, rotate. We'll do 1 more. Again, I would do about 5 of these on each side. Just showing you a nice few variations of how you can use the ring or lose the ring. Totally up to you. Okay, and then resting that down. We're going to go into shoulder bridge now, okay? We're going to pop the ring onto the hips. Again, I'm going to show you a few variations with this. So no blocks behind heads, knees are bent, and you're going to have the padded area onto the front of the hips, so really onto a bony area. And as you lift your hips, you try and keep your hands as still as possible. So you're pressing and using your glutes to help squeeze that ring. Okay. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the hips up, squeeze the ring. Lovely, perfect. Inhale, lower. Inhale, lowering the hips. That's it. And exhale, lift and squeeze, putting pressure onto that ring. It's challenging your balance. Are both glutes working at the same intensity? And squeeze. 3. We'll do 2 more and we're going to show you a variation. I would do about 10 to 15 of those if you can manage them. Obviously you can lose the ring. Okay, for the next variation we're just going to hold the ring up above the chest. So the ring, the arms are straight, the fingers are lengthened. As you lift and squeeze, again you can squeeze the hands together. So inhale to prepare, exhale, lift, squeezing the ring and squeezing your glutes as you lift. Inhale, lower, release the pressure of the ring, and exhale, lift and squeeze. Lola wants to be involved today. So, inhale, lower, exhale, lift and squeeze. We'll go for 2 more and then I'll show you another variation. And squeeze. That's it, and lift and squeeze. Brilliant. The last variation you can do, well, there's probably many, many more, popping the ring between the knees again, or the thighs, let's say. So this time, as you squeeze, you will be pressing the knees together. So they do start slightly wider. That's why sometimes a smaller ring can help. So it's an inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift the hips And squeeze the ring. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. That's 2. We'll go for 3 more. 3, good. Nice and challenging on the inner thighs here. Lifting those glutes. And 1 more. Brilliant. So some nice variations there with the shoulder bridge. We're going to use the ring still to do some side leg work. So you're going to lay onto your side and have the ring here. So you have your bottom leg and you rest it onto the pad. Chris is going to do it on, we'll start with one leg on the outside. Chris is going to do it onto his elbow, but you can be lying on your side with your arm lengthened and your head rested down onto your arm. Right, so with your elbow underneath your shoulder, you lift out of the shoulder, okay? And you're stacked, your hips are stacked, so make sure the hips aren't rolling back. Come on, Lola, out of the way, please. Make sure that they're not there. Right, so you inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you squeeze the leg down, so you're squeezing the ring. So inhale, release the pressure, and exhale, squeeze down. So keeping that pattern going, breathing in as you release the pressure, breathing out as you squeeze down into the ring. You can do this without the ring, not a problem. You're just lifting and lowering the leg. Imagining you've got a ball that you're squeezing. And if you do have a Pilates ball, you can obviously use that as well. So you keep your waist belt pulled in. You engage those abdominals and you lift out of the shoulders, so you're having to engage both obliques to help keep those sides nice and strong. Your eye gaze straight in front of you. We'll go for 2 more. I go for about 10 of these on each side. That's it. Inhale and exhale, squeeze. Now we're going to place the top leg inside the ring, up against the pad. It's not a big movement because the rings are quite strong. So it's an inhale to prepare, and exhale, press open the ring. So trying to push that leg open. Inhale, release, and exhale again, squeeze. For 2. We're going to do 8. But again, I do up to 10, or however many you feel is a nice challenge. Okay, we're going to do 4 more. So keeping lifted out of the shoulder, keeping the eye gaze straight in front of you, pulling your belly button to spine. The last one I'm going to show you here with the ring is, it's too difficult to do this up on your elbow, so you do need to lie down with your arm lengthened and your head resting down. Keeping the hips stacked. Again, you're going to have that top leg lifted, but it's still inside the ring. So you really pull in on your waist belt here. So you inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you try and lift both legs. So you keep them pressing to the outsides of the ring, but you lift them. So you inhale to lower, and then you exhale, you lift and squeeze. 2. Inhale, lower, and lift and squeeze the ring. Again, we're going to do 8, but I would do about 10 of these. So another 4 here. 4. 3 more. 3. Good. Controlling those abdominals, controlling those hips, and using that breath. And 1 more. Wonderful. So Changing over legs now. I'm going to pop the head at the other end of the mat. Lower leg inside the ring to start with. Top leg on the outside. Elbow underneath shoulder. Waist engaged, eye gaze straight in front of you, squeezing down into that ring. So exhale, squeeze, inhale, release. Good, 2. Keeping those hips stacked, lovely. And 3. Good. 4. We'll do 4 more, but again, like I said, we'll do about 10 on each side. Try and keep things nice and balanced. 3. 2. And 1. So pop that top leg inside against the pad, and you're pressing out. So remember, it's not onto the bony parts of the ankles, we want it onto the fleshy part of our lower leg. So inhale, prepare, exhale, press open. 1. And 2. Good. 3. And 4. We're going to just do 3 more, so we're doing 8 here. Make sure you've just done the same amount on each leg when you're doing yours. Good, and then the last exercise, laying yourself down, bringing your arm, resting your head, keeping those hips stacked. Really tricky there, ring. And inhale to prepare, exhale, you're going to lift both legs at the same time, keeping those hips stacked. That's it. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. You use that exhale. Inhale and exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift and squeeze. You might find it more difficult on one side than the other. That's perfectly normal. We've all got imbalances. 5. Good. 6. Go for 2 more. Keeping those hips stacked, keeping that waist engaged. It's a hard one. Excellent, so some good side leg work there. So coming back up to sitting. Great, well I hope you enjoyed those exercises. Thank you very much, Chris. If you did enjoy these, please do tick like or press like on my YouTube channel and subscribe for more routines. Thanks very much. Have a good Easter.